Hello, welcome to How to Play D&D, the Explainer podcast where one experienced dungeon master and one failed scriptwriter discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner is Lewis McCaffery. Hello, Lewis.
Hello, Colin.
It's been a while since I've fucked that up at the beginning.
It has, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm impressed now that you've said that. You're going to do it next time.
100%. How's your week been? What have you been up to?
It's not been too bad, just chilling, loving life, excited for the next Black Shore session.
Yeah, there's good weather for once where we are.
Exactly.
Rare.
It's sunny.
Nice, we'll take it.
It's warm.
Yeah. What can you do? I mean, as pasty white boys, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, we are too white for this weather.
Yeah,
so.
but you can't have it all, can you?
No,
you can't be
can't.
vampires and enjoy the sun.
No. And for anyone that's been waiting since last episode, you'll notice I don't have a sticker. So,
oh shit.
So you know
okay.
What? Disgraceful.
Okay.
I didn't get my sticker. I'm upset about it. It's not been that long for us.
I'm sorry. I don't know what. Hey.
It's okay.
Hey. You
Wait,
get in
there
the
we
camera
go. Yep.
just so people understand the pity then.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm sorry. Okay.
You know what? It's not okay. No, it's
Am
okay.
I expecting you to forgive me?
No.
No. Am I expecting an Oscar-winning performance review? Don't know what I'm saying anymore. Yes. Let's just move on.
I'm the only one getting increasingly uncomfortable.
I know.
I'm scared.
I know. I'm sorry.
But yeah, we do have some news, some podcast news kind of thing.
We do.
In fact, you know what? It was your idea. I'll let you describe it.
What was my idea? That was okay. Yeah. I've actually covered my face out of nervousness.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, depending on where you are, if you're in Manchester, you may see these. But if you're not in Manchester, go to Manchester.
Yeah, go to Manchester.
Yeah.
Enjoy your time.
Because if you don't, you may miss out on these very fancy-looking
business cards.
Yeah.
Business cards, guys.
We started giving these out at our local game shops.
We're going profesh.
Yeah. And it's
as
got,
the kids are calling it.
Yeah, fancy QR codes on the back.
QR codes. If you're listening via Spotify without watching it on Spotify, Lewis is showing our business cards, which is our ugly mugs on the front, and on the back is a QR code to the Spotify and a QR code to the Discord server. Where we hope to build a thriving community.
We hope
for when the oceans
gobble up
the earth, and we must all
and
get
the
on.
Robots rise.
Yeah, so we have to get on one boat with no soap.
You know what I just thought? You know how some people are actually worried about like robots rising up and killing us all. Yeah. But there's also global warming, so if the sea level was to rise, robots are a bit fucked because they don't deal with...
We should help the robots before they're also screwed.
Yeah.
We might as well be the martyrs and save them.
I mean, so we got two options here. Either we help the robots and hopefully when they rise up they don't kill us all. Or we fail to help the robots and then when they do rise up and kill us all, they'll die too.
Yeah, or we'll all die.
Yeah.
We might as well just help them. Exactly. One of us might as well live.
Why not?
Yeah.
Is this topic robots or something?
No, it's classes. Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on classes, a topic you guys are probably expecting at the very beginning of this when we started last December, but hey ho, that's how we fucking do it. Class arguably defines your style of play in D&D, and that's something worth talking about. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right.
Yes, I didn't expect you to ask me a question yet.
Lewis.
Yes.
I've been donating cats to a shelter for 15 years, but they've begged me to stop. What gives? Can't a man donate cats anymore? What am I doing?
I'm so glad you said cats and not pussies then, or something.
Oh, yeah, because
I really thought you were going to.
You just like to lower the tone, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were glad that I didn't say the thing you then said.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be a bit more concerned if it was the latter. But I'll tell you what you're doing is, you're trying not to be a crazy cat lady, and I respect that.
Yeah.
So what you should really do is actually stop donating them, and just keep them for yourself, and then inevitably, when the robots do rise up and kill us all, you will be nowhere to find, because your cats will eat you.
I never think about an answer for this. But I did then think, God, man, like imagine having to put up with all my questions. So I actually thought of an answer for this.
Oh.
I've not written it down.
Okay.
I've just remembered it, which is good for me. I never remember anything.
No, you don't.
The question was, I've been donating cats to a shelter for 15 years, but they've begged me to stop. What gives? Can't a man donate cats anymore? What am I doing? I thought about it, slept on it for a bit, a few weeks, and I realised I could stop adopting them, and then that way I wouldn't have to keep donating them back.
I assumed you had like a summoning circle in your living room that would just like pop it up.
No, I think that's what their problem is. I think it's because I keep taking them and then donating them back.
Do you like take them
Only
from one animal shelter and donate it to another?
No, I stand outside every day an hour before they open. So when they're doing the cleaning bit, they see me. They see me before they pull up, and they know I'm gonna donate and collect a cat that day. That's what I've decided.
I mean, cats are better than dogs, so I don't blame you.
Wow, how dare you. Alright then, well, before we start a fight, Lewis, can you name every class in D&D 5e? I've said 5e, not because I've got a trick question. Okay. I just have not played any other D&D. Yep. This is a 5e podcast, so it's more likely people will... Yeah, we won't... Do we like anyone going, excuse me?
Yeah, excuse me.
In 3.2, there was...
Yep. So... Starting with the originals, you've got the Bard, Barbarian, you've got Cleric, you've got the Druid, Fighter. I was going to do it alphabetically then and then failed.
That's right.
I said Cleric. You got Paladin, Monk, Ranger, Rogue, Warlock, Wizard, Sorcerer. I think, that's all 12, I believe.
Wow. Okay, fair play.
And then you've got the Artificer and the Blood Hunter, which were obviously, they are still part of 5e, but they were added after. And nice. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
I did not know that. Yeah. I did not know that. Impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. That's why if you're ever Googling them, they're always separated, because they came later. I believe the Blood Hunter was based on Critical Role, which
makes sense.
Wizards liked, so...
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. What separates the classes from one another? That's pretty hard. There's like 14, right? Yeah. But can you summarise a vague answer that could...
So a vague and general answer is, when you picture it in terms of your actual character, you've obviously got like things like your race that will play a part in it, your personality traits, your background, all that will do different things to define your character. But your class is what you do on a sessionally basis. Think of the class in real terms as your job. Okay. So... Your race, obviously, your race and your background is you, your personality, but your job, your class is what you're good at. That's basically...
I hadn't thought about that way. That's cool, yeah.
Nice. How would you different?
I just hadn't thought.
Oh, okay.
Let alone thought about that.
I don't thought.
I don't ever think.
No.
No, I think that's a pretty good way of... it's... I don't want to use the term action because obviously that confuses things because everyone has actions, but it's it defines your actions, right?
Exactly.
Your ability to do things, where you're going to put your experience, and the actions you can take.
Exactly, yeah. It is literally what you're good at. It's what your character does. It's
what you specialise in.
Exactly, yeah. It's the things that kind of... I think the class is the main thing that will define your character in terms of what they do and what they want in the world. It's how they go about living.
I think after writing this as a topic, I really thought about this, and I started doing it in a new campaign I'm writing. But I thought about creating a class, which was like a farmer class.
Okay.
Because you have, and it'd be a support class, but it'd be a bit like of an AoE kind of support class.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is one there.
Probably.
But the point being is, like, it's kind of like a 14th century... D&D's usually set in a 14th century period. There's, people are fighters as a specialism because people need to fight in that time period and for wars and whatnot. And arguably most people would have been farmers. And I like the idea of doing something that's a bit out there, but... grounded and do you know what I mean? It could be cool, there's something in that.
It'd be cool if you specialise. Obviously, most sessions will take part, like they'll have combat in, they'll have the role playing. But it'd be cool if you had a campaign where your class is something that's specialised in the downtime. So when you're role playing at your camp, get ready for a rest, for example. If you farm some crops a week ago or something, you could make a broth that gives them advantage once per day.
You kind of like a more neutral version of an artificer, less techie, but more kind of like obtaining things a bit like a ranger or like
survivalist
or a druid.
You're like the Bear Grylls of D&D.
The Bear Grylls, and you like if campaigns people need to find food and potions. This is the guy who's gonna like make some beer
like
for
that,
you.
to be
And
fair.
we'll see.
Yeah,
I thought of it the other day, and I thought, am I smart enough to do this? No. Am I creative enough to think of it? Yes.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Am I determined to do it? Definitely not. There we go.
I do like that. I think it's a cool concept.
Yeah. Okay. Next question: are there classes that are better for beginners?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, straight off the bat, the one a lot of beginners go for is the fighter. Because,
we talked about this briefly, didn't we?
It's your simple knight in shining armor. It's simple in that you have basic actions in terms of like attacking, preparing, dodging, those kind of things. It's when you get into the spellcasters that is when it gets difficult. On the far end, or the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got like wizards, which can be complicated, but they're not the most difficult spellcaster because that's just a case of learn your spells, you know what you can cast. But when you get to the half casters and you have the opportunity to change your spells every day, that is the one that I think is the most daunting for new players, because if they have a spell that they don't really like after 3 sessions, they need to then look at all the other spells that they can choose from. It's just a lot of information.
Yeah, as someone who literally played a spellcaster for the second time ever last night. And I DM all the time. I've DM'd more than I've played, arguably, and at this point, and I don't do spellcasters. So looking at it, and that's only like a straight up spellcaster, no dipping into other classes, and I find it can be quite overwhelming to know when's the right time to do things, when's the what's worth doing. We'll get into that. I think we'll get into that as another topic for spellcasters specifically.
One thing I will say, without going too far into it, I do think spellcasters, though, in terms of a class, allow more versatility, I'll say. It's like if you go in as a fighter, you can obviously attack or defend or whatever you want to do. Whereas spellcaster, you might support, you might heal, you might...
There's a whole range of things.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Wizard's my favourite class.
Yeah, nice. Okay. If a DM is looking to put a new group together, what classes would you recommend for their players to play? Because I thought you would say fighter for beginners, because we did briefly say that on another one. But obviously, I mean, you can have a group of fighters, but it might be a bit boring. What would you...
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the perfect party will have 4 different classes. Let's say 4 players. It'll have 4 different classes. For me, anyway, this isn't rules. This isn't the best way. It's my opinion. I think 4 different classes. You'll need 1 soul spellcaster, so perhaps a sorcerer or a wizard, for example.
Okay.
You may have 1 half caster that can either do damage as well or heal, for example, a cleric or a paladin.
Okay.
And then you might have 1 class that can help in roleplay scenarios, for example, a druid or a bard, and by that, bard being role-playing charismatically, whereas a druid, might role-play in the wilderness with animals, that kind of things. And then you'll probably need 1 front-facing, not the leader of the group, but someone that's like a fighter or a barbarian, something like that. Someone that can be the go-to, we need to break that down kind of thing. Someone with a high strength. That's mine.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I mean, there's a generic class system on purpose, right? You expect the fighter, the wizard, the ranger, or bard, and that makes sense that there's that for a reason. One is interesting because there's versatility across the board. It makes sense that you're not all doing the same thing, but also it just means also for the DM it's more interesting that they don't just go, all right, well, you're all fighters. Here's something that literally relies on wisdom or intelligence to defeat you, or it means everyone's coming to think.
That will happen in almost every campaign, because if you have a campaign where it is just a case of everything is who can kill first, it'll just get boring after 10 sessions.
Definitely. Okay, what is your favourite class and why?
Wizard. It'd be funny if I said anything other than wizard.
Yeah,
I've just said it. So, personally, the wizard.
Okay.
1, because that was the first one I went for. Yeah. Because, and obviously that
What was his name?
I actually can't remember. What was his name?
I thought it was going to be Wizardo.
No, that wasn't my favourite.
Wizardo the Foolish.
I did steal, but it's brilliant. No, I can't remember what his name was, to be honest. It wasn't anything exciting. It was just like a fantasy name generator name. But why? 1, I really like the idea of... in fictional settings and stuff, I really like characters that can do a lot of stuff and have to portray themselves as these powerful creatures like Thrawn in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I really like those kind of intelligent and calculating characters, but
tacticians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that a wizard can be immensely powerful. They're broken. But you put them in a 10-foot like box with a barbarian, they're dead. Like I do also like that vulnerability that if you're playing a very smart wizard, you've got to try and hide that.
You got to keep the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
I mean, I love a fighter just because it's safe. I like it, and I get to play a lot of fun characters. But I know, I would be a spellcaster because I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
But so far, I've struggled to really find my
your groove.
Yeah, find my mojo isn't there just yet. Maybe a couple more times playing, but I'm definitely. I mean, I'll just commit to every character I play. Really,
exactly.
You know, I'll try and come across with a persona more than like the class. You know,
I think people's opinions on character classes as well will very much determine on what campaigns they play, or depend on what campaigns.
I because about that.
Yeah, because for example, like I said, if you play a campaign where everything is just everyone's aggressive, no one's very intelligent, and it's just a case of they've all got massive swords and you've got to beat your way through the world, then a wizard or, for example, like a bard won't really...
You're going to play a paladin, aren't you?
You won't...
Paladin or barbarian.
Yeah, each campaign needs opportunities for each class to shine. And if you don't have that in any of the campaigns you play, as a wizard, for example, you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to think wizards are shit.
Yeah. Last question, surprise question. What class would Stuart Little be?
Oh, fuck.
I know. I thought about this as well, and I just... Because he's a master of everything.
Yeah, wow.
He's a jack of all trades, but he's also the master of all of them. And people literally adopt him over other humans.
It's funny you should say jack of all trades, because that's a bard feature. So maybe he'd be a bard.
He also, he can hold himself in a fight.
I mean, we clearly hate him, so he might not be a bard, because he's not charismatic.
I tell you what class he is. Fucking dead.
Yeah.
The class he is.
To be fair, it could be a College of Swords bard.
There we go, yeah.
I'd maybe say rogue, though, and the only reason I'm saying that is because he's literally a mouse.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. He's a druid that can't figure out how to wild shape back.
He's a druid that knows how to fuck.
Yeah.
That's Stuart Little.
He watched a YouTube video on how to wild shape into a mouse, but forgot to watch the video of how to wild shape back.
He knew what he was doing when he wild shaped into that mouse.
Exactly.
Doing mouse things.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, I tell you what. Another surprise question. Out of all the roles the legendary Tom Hanks has played, what class do you think suits him best?
Oh,
Since
the thing is, he always survives. He always lives. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. He's clearly not an artificer because, like I said, he's always, like you said before, he's always in control of a failing vehicle.
He's always in control of a failing public vehicle.
Yep.
Damn, what could he be? I think he might be a rogue because he's sneaky. Mm-hmm. He gets roles when he can't act, and actually, I think
Tom Hanks.
I know, and also he's really fast because of Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, true.
So I'm thinking if we nailed it down to Forrest Gump, he dodges every kind of situation in the world he's in where he could be killed, and he's very fast. And not intelligent.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you say... I mean, to be fair, I was going to say he can't be a wizard because he's clearly not a nerd in Catch Me If You Can because he didn't know that Barry Allen was the Flash.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a great film.
Damn, there we go. Well, we know who is a loser. This guy. Okay. All right, today's adventure is sadly coming to a close. We're back again next week with a topic. How much would it cost for you to tie my shoelaces together?
50p.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. I've got that right here.
Perfect.
And as always, thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to join on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at How to Play D&D, or check out the link in our bio to join our Discord server. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery.
Good day.
Goodbye.